As Monty said, I have 3 kids, 4.5, 2.5, and 1. Life is busy for me. And let me tell you, it's 9:45. I would already have been in bed for like 2.5 hours. So life never seems to stop. And I know I'm not the only one that happens to. I know that I'm not the only one who has all of these great things that I want to do, all of these things I want to accomplish. But man, I just never seem to get around to doing it. And so, Monty, I need you to come up here on stage for me. He doesn't know he's doing this, by the way. I have this pipette. I need you to fit as many drops of water on this penny as you can while I'm talking. So just keep doing that. Let me know how many you can fit on that penny. Yeah, right? This might not have the same impact, though. You see, every one of us in this room wants to look back on our lives and be known for something. Each of us are different, but in the end, we want to know that we made a difference. And your life is the sum of all of the choices that you make. Some of us live a life that has purpose. Others of us simply get by, hoping that somehow, by accident, things will all turn out the way we want them to. But you see, here's the trick. You can live a life of purpose. You can live a life that's focused. You see, I want all of you to pretend that this penny that Monty is dripping these drops of water onto represents everything that you can handle in life. It's your capacity to do things. And the water that's being dropped on are all of the things in life that you need to do. Some of us won't hit our capacity, but most of us will. I know for me, I can get to the end of my day, my week, my month, and I've become so completely overwhelmed that I just want to throw in the towel and be done. I just want to go to sleep for like 3 days because I've been so busy, I've been so overwhelmed, I've been so overworked that I've got nothing left to give. Because you see, there's something unique about water. One of its properties is it's called surface tension. And what surface tension is water has the ability to create this like layer with the other water molecules in it. And if you look closely enough, what Monty's starting to do is he's starting to see this bubble of water come up over around the penny. And you look at it and you're like, how in the world can he fit all of that water on that penny? But pretty soon, Monty's going to get to a point where that water tension is going to break, where there's too much to hold on to, and that water is going to spill out over those paper towels. And it's going to feel like his life falls apart. How many are you at?
80.
80 drops of water on one penny. How many did you get?
84-ish.
84-ish. Why don't we give Monty a round of applause? That was great. Thanks, Monty. It's very impressive. So as I said, I want you to imagine that this penny represents your capacity in life. And the water represents all of the things that you can do in your life, all the things that you say are important. And after I watched this experiment, I'm thinking, man, if that penny is my capacity and the water is everything that I can do, I'm asking the question, how can I get more water onto this penny? What can I do to increase my capacity? And there's 2 answers. Just keep putting drops on the penny, because not all the water fell off the penny when the surface tension broke. So you still held on to something. So you can flood the penny, or you can get a bigger penny. Remember, the penny represents your capacity to accomplish things in life. And the best way that you can get a bigger penny is by saying no so that you can say yes more. Now, I'm going to unpack that a little bit. Because in order to do that, to increase your capacity, to be able to accomplish more, you've got to name it, you've got to order it, and you've got to claim it. First, you got to name it. The best way to increase your capacity is to start with thinking about all the things in your life that mean something to you. Think of everything that's most important. Is it your career? Is it your family? Is it your faith? Do you want to have a strong network of people around you? Is it having a large nest egg to pass on to your family or so that you can retire comfortably? Do you want to have enough space in your house for your family? All of us are different, but each of us have a gift from God that includes our passions and the things that get us excited. And so as you start to create this list of things that are important to you, it's going to look different from the people around you. It's going to look different from the person next to you. It's going to look different from the person in the cubicle around the corner. It's going to look different from your neighbor because God's gifted each of us differently. So you got to name it. You got to come up with that list of things that are most important to you, things that you can't live without, things that you want written on your tombstone. When I was first married, my wife, as we started my career in ministry, we moved up here, we did all this stuff, she would keep asking me, reminding me, Pete, what do you want written on your tombstone when you die? Do you want that you were the best program director that ever lived? Or do you want that you were an engaged dad, that you were a great husband? It always had me thinking about what do I want to live my life by? So I started to create this list of the things that are most important to me. The second step is to order it. And this is where things get difficult because you can look at that list of things that are important to you and you can go, well, yeah, that's important, and that's important, and that's important, and that's important, and that's important. They're all important. And depending upon the day, the minute, or the second, each one of those can be more important than the other. But when you choose to make one thing in your life the most important, the rest of things will start to fall into place. And it's important to not to just name it, but then also order it. Order it from most important to least important. And then when you lay out your life by that, things will start to fall into place. The third step is where you get to have some fun, because you get to claim it. You get to start to craft this statement that becomes your life's mantra, your personal mission statement. And once that statement is crafted, you can begin to share it with others. You can refine it, sharpen it, expand it, or shorten it. It's a work in progress, and it will never feel like it's complete because, let's face it, we're never complete. Well, that's great, you say. But what does it look like in real life? How do I live this out? I want to share with you my personal mission statement, that this is something I've done, I've lived it. It's taken a lot of work, but before I get to that, there is something you need to know about me. And that's first and foremost, I am a child of God. Before anything else, my identity, my self-worth, my strength, my love starts with God. I am a sinner separated by God, but because I have a relationship with Jesus Christ, I am confident that I will get to spend eternity with God. And that is the ultimate question that's set before you this weekend in Man Talks. When you figure out what you want written on your tombstone, you also need to be asking, where am I going when that tombstone is laid? Each one of us will face death. And when you look back on your life, what do you want to be known by? Is it because this world is going to say, oh, well, we need to do this and this and this and all these other things to be successful? But really, what is the one or two or three things that God has called you to? That is what's most important. And so for me, my life's mission statement is that I'm a follower of Jesus whose desire in life is to be a great husband, an engaged father, and a church builder. That's my mission. Anything else outside of that mission, I say no to so that I can focus on what God has created me to be, so I can focus on what I'm passionate about and what I'm gifted at. I listed out my priorities: my relationship with God, my family, my wife, and my job. And I gave them an order: God, husband, family, job. And I share it wherever I go and with whoever will listen. And then I've structured my life around those priorities. I say no to a lot of things because my family comes first. I say no to a lot of things because my relationship with my wife is the most important relationship that I have. Monty knows this, say no to a lot of speaking opportunities because my family is what matters the most. And yeah, it means I say no to a lot of stuff, but I get to say yes to my kids. I get to say yes to my wife because I haven't let go of what my life's mission is. When you know what's important and with what you want to accomplish in life, saying no to the things that get in the way becomes easy. And you'll find you're saying yes to a lot more of what matters. And when you end up saying yes to more of what matters, you become more excited, you become more passionate, you become someone others want to follow. Now, there might be some of you in this room that are in a place that's not fulfilling. And the question you ask is, well, am I living my life by my priorities? And if you answer no, a change might be needed. But don't go changing just because you feel like you need to change. Do the work. Figure out what is most important to you and what's not important to you. List out those priorities in the order of importance, craft your mission statement, and then make the decisions you need to make. And when you do that, your capacity to accomplish all that God asks of you will increase. Your life will be lived on purpose and not by accident. Now, as you think about this weekend, you're going to have 8 fantastic teachers. You've had 1 fantastic teacher and then me, and then you're going to have 6 more after this. There's going to be things that you're going to want to take home. Be like, oh, I want to do that Jim talked about. I want to do this, that Pete talked about. I want to do this, that Irv talks about. I want to do this and that. And you're going to come home with this big old bucket of 8 different things. And on Monday, a hole's going to come in that bucket and you're going to lose all 8. My challenge to each one of you as you think about living a life on purpose versus by accident is pick one thing, one talk that you want to focus on, one task, one challenge, and work on that for the next month. And I know, Monty, if he did what he did last year, we'll post all of these talks online so you can come back to Camp Lebanon's website and find them. And in 2 months, be like, oh, I really want to review what that Jim guy talked about. Let's start there. Because as I said earlier, when you do that, your capacity to accomplish all that God asks of you will increase. And you'll begin to live a life on purpose and not by accident. Thank you.